Thank you all for taking the time. I'll throw to Adam first. Two-parter. How are you? And when did you actually wrap on this movie? Because some of the things say 2023, and here we are at the end of 2024.
Yes. First of all, thank you for having us, Darren. I'm doing really good. I'm really excited that we're premiering on Aspire TV. 2023. So we wrapped September of 2022,
Whoa.
a year of post production. And then we had our window one release on Amazon Christmas of last year. But this is the big one. This is the one that really matters. We found a really nice home with Aspire, and we couldn't be more grateful.
I apologize for missing that window of exclusivity, and congrats on the Aspire. Now throwing it to Rose. Rose, thank you for taking the time. You'll get the two-parter as well. How are you? And then how much of Elba is there in you, the human being?
I'm well. I'm doing great. It is a beautiful day and it's Christmas and I've been shopping. It's a great day. And how much of Ella is in of me is in Elva? Oh, I'd say 90%. I'm very much like she's all wrapped up in my family and my family dynamic and my mother. And, she's very much a part of me. She's one of my personalities, so to speak.
Well, that shows depth. We'll come back to that. Carmen's been very patient. We'll say, "Hey, Carmen, thank you for taking the
Hi.
time." Same kind of question at you, the Melissa character. Is there a lot of you in Melissa?
I feel like Melissa is in a lot of people, and I've seen Melissa in several different friend dynamics and several different. So for me personally, it's probably about 50% in that I've been friends with her. I know this friend very well. We all know a Melissa. We all either have a cousin that's Melissa, we have a sister that's Melissa, my friend's best friend is Melissa, the loud one. Like we all know Melissa. So for me personally, she's probably about 50%. I'm a little bit more brash, a little bit more direct personally, but the friend dynamic I'm very familiar with.
I'm going to say you're also very patient because not only did Nochebuena take a little bit to come out, but Andy Somebody also took a bit to come out. I did that
It
junket
did.
as well. And at the same time, writing for Ron Funches, also patience right there. So will you change your answer a little bit? You're more patient than Melissa?
I definitely. Well, no, I'm pretty impatient. Actually, all the things you mentioned were excruciating, so I do appreciate you pointing them out so that I could relive it, Darren. But
PTSD. Yeah, I get it. You're welcome. And then throwing it back to Rose, Rose, the first time, and you've worked on a lot of great projects, but the first time I really noticed you was Cobra Kai, and that is such a different character, linguistically, personality wise, etc., than what we see in Noche Buena. How and going a bit further, obviously you're classically trained and you come from the theater world. At what point in your career did you realize that film and TV was an option? Because back in the day, it used to be you're a Broadway person, that's all you do.
Well, I was never a Broadway person, first of all.
But theater,
Uh, Theater,
yeah.
and I started in Chicago, and theater was very big at that time. Steppenwolf and the Organic Theater, and yeah, I was just really involved in the Actors Theater, um, and that is how it used to be that you used to do a lot of plays because that's how you learned. Even though I went to school, I went to
Yeah.
a conservatory and I also studied in college drama, but you did plays. You did plays. That's like putting that work into practice. But at the same time, I tried to do TV and film. I had an agent in Chicago. I did a couple of commercials. Um, and then I ended up moving to San Francisco and I did a lot of industrials. I could never break into the TV and film, but I still did plays. I did a play at the Magic Theater and, you know,
Mhm.
uh, a number of shows, like a show in Berkeley. And, it's just like, it isn't like actors necessarily pick one or the other unless they definitely want to do Broadway. which I didn't want to do that necessarily. I was an equity actress and I was a SAG actress and AFTRA, and I just wanted to do all of it, so.
And now
That
you are
makes
doing
sense?
all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Adam, what was the casting process for this film like?
The casting process, well, it was written beautifully by Glenn Elise Quesada, and she let me read the first draft of it, and quite honestly, I saw Carmen for Melissa immediately. Actually, me and Carmen went to high school together, so my first play in ninth grade was a one act, and we were in that play together. So I've known Carmen for, I don't know, over 20 years now. Since I was, I mean, before puberty, and and so I saw her. I read it. I was like, this is Carmen. Renee, I knew from my acting days in Los Angeles, and I also saw him on the page.
Mhm.
And the challenge was Tonari, and I reached out to her on Instagram. I had just seen West Side Story, and I was like, man, this girl's perfect for this. And what's the worst that can happen? She'll say no, and we sent her the script, and she loved it, and she hopped on board. So, and then Rose actually auditioned for the Titi Carmen role, and when I saw her tape, I was like, oh, she's not Titi Carmen, she's Elba. And so we had her send in another tape for Elba, and it worked out.
And this was filmed in the Atlanta area?
This was filmed in Orlando, Florida, or the Central Florida area.
Got it. So, Rose, you made it out of Atlanta.
Oh, I frequently do. I work in LA and New York and wherever, but they flew me out to Florida. I was like, okay, cool. It's good.
Yes, the metropolis of Orlando. Now, asking the last question to everybody, feel free to tell me as much as you want, or that this is under embargo and we're not allowed to say anything else. Okay, Carmen, you first. Nochebuena, to us, it's a new movie. To you, it happened a little bit ago. Are we allowed to know where we're going to see you next?
You probably in the stand-up space. I'm self-producing an hour special currently, so that's probably where you're gonna see me next. That's kind of what I've been focusing on this last year is getting a special out. So look for that soon.
You're workshopping the material soon at the moment?
Yeah, I'm in Colorado right now, working on it.
That's fantastic. What's your home stand-up club in Colorado?
Well, I live in Los Angeles. That's what I'm saying. I'm on tour currently, workshopping it out. But the best club in Colorado is Comedy Works. Everybody knows that. It's the best one. But I also will do an hour in a rock club. I'll do an hour wherever they'll let me, because you just want to get everything. You just got to do as many reps as possible to get it ready.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. Adam, are we allowed to know what's next from you?
Absolutely. I'm working on a documentary about a famous salsa singer. Say any names yet, but that's definitely what I'm working on next.
That's great. And that's a situation where you're producing, directing, and writing the copy of it as well?
I'm going to pretty much be serving in the same capacity as Nochebuena, so directing and producing.
Got it. So still multiple job titles. And Rose, we're still waiting on the back 6 or back 8 or whatever of Cobra Kai. Is that the latest and the greatest from you? Are you allowed to say anything else?
I mean, sure. I can tell you that in the last third of the Cobra Kai season, I have more appearances, more to do, and it's an exciting development for me. And then I'll be on The Sandman sometime in 2025, and
Wow.
Outcome, which is a Jonah Hill directed movie.
Ooh.
Wow. So between the three of you, stand up, documentaries, scripted, you're keeping us guessing. So thank you very much for disclosing all that. Congratulations on Nochebuena, and looking forward to everyone's future projects as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Darren.
Paltrocast.